Okay, I'm here. What's going on, everybody? Let's get the cover off because we'll be using Elgato today. Mm, it's 11 o'clock. As is right now, there is no news. I checked uh, Gorilla, their website, Twitter. Sorry. It doesn't seem like they are acknowledging that on what is it? Horizon is supposed to be free today, so it's kind of weird. Okay. They're getting a lot of stuff. I still don't understand how you do photo mode on. Uh, how do you do photo mode on on the fucking Fortnite? I don't understand that shit. Maybe Rec can help me. Oh shit! I probably should have told Rec that I was playing today. Fuck. Yeah, that's dope. That's actually fire. Hmm. It is definitely a different way to show off this game. Pretty interesting. Okay. But they still didn't talk about the game being free. That's weird. Okay. So today's the data. Horizon Complete Edition is supposed to be free for PlayStation gamers. Today's the 19th. It is Monday. Um, I don't know. I'm on YouTube right now, so let me just check and see if there's anything. That's weird, but we'll check that out. Don't care about that. What the fuck is this? Pine gameplay trailer, huh? Their story becomes yours, okay? Saga Frontier, old school game. Dragon Alt. Again, never heard about that. Dragon Audit? No, never heard about that. We're on time today, so I'm just checking out some stuff real quick. Hey, let me just show y'all what the fuck I'm looking at. I'm telling you, the PC gaming community is a bunch of weirdos. So this is a game called Dragon Audit, and I know it came from PC, but now it's coming to PlayStation. The game looks like utter trash. Look at look at this. This game's coming to PS4, right? But look at those textures. I swear, bro. I swear. The PC community swear they hot shit, bro. But they got fucking trash on their system, bro. What the fuck? That's like PS2 style textures. You know what, bro? I should have probably made some breakfast before. No, I already got those. No, fuck, I ain't drinking that. This shit is weird. What's going on? Rome Rush. Rome Rush is here. Good shit. EDM Gamer, Dez is here. Enzo, Verge. Um, Before we get started, the debate was obvious. Like I said, it was obviously a troll debate. I wanted you guys to see more of the PC community, how they think or how they act. Um, the guy basically came out, confirmed that his identity as a troll has already changed his Twitter profile name, profile picture, and banner. He blocked me. Um, so we know it was a troll. We know the troll is a heavy Furtenga supporter, and he basically wasted his own time pretending to be somebody he wasn't to make some stupid point. And the point was just to continue the propaganda and agenda of the PC master race. And all that is to continue to yell from the mountaintops that all games should be on all platforms, right? And if Nintendo isn't going to be a part of that, that notion is dead, right? So he knows that I always use Nintendo in my debate arguments, and I know that PC fans look at my debate folder because that's the folder that's the highest viewed outside of the other folder where they get to look at my face, which is JaytechTV Updates. It's a playlist I made where there are videos that are unboxing videos in there, where I normally get on camera for unboxings, and other videos where I would be on camera. So obviously, yes, I've confirmed that these idiots are fucking obsessed with me many years ago. But yeah, long story short, um, he continued to say that, yeah, Nintendo should do it too, but saying Nintendo should do something that Nintendo is not doing doesn't come close to wanting to do. And if they had their way, they would prevent PC fans from emulating their games on PC. Yeah, I don't think they're on that. They're very comfortable selling their games $50 a pop and selling a total of 30 to 40 million copies of games that other console gamers might not think shouldn't have even sold that many. So they're comfortable making money the traditional way, and having their console at $300 even 4 years after it came out. Yeah, Nintendo's happy making money. I don't think they would make any more money if they put their games on PC. Actually, that would not make a lot of money anyway. Like I said in the debate, there are tons of multi-platform games that are not as lucky as a Minecraft or a Grand Theft Auto 5 to sell over 100 million copies, right? Um, and them being multi-platform does not actually promise that they're selling that many copies, especially when one side is selling more copies than the other. And as far as games that released during the PS4 generation, the PlayStation gamers made up the bulk of the people that were buying the multi-platform games. So just because they were also available on PC and Xbox did not mean that's why they sold that number. So if they were exclusive, we would have still brought the game. They were multi-plat, PlayStation fans still brought the game more than other people. And this is something that's continuously going on. Rush with the super chat, just showing some love, my brother. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Enzo, you're right, bro. You're right. A lot of them have some homo tendencies when it comes to me. They can't stop thinking about me. They make videos about me all the time. They use my picture in their thumbnails all the time. They make fake accounts using my picture. They can't stop. Motherfuckers were spying on me when I end up crashing during a live stream. Again, quote unquote, trying to make a big fucking deal out of nothing. So, it's a weird thing. They have more games than us, but they refuse to play those games because they know, criticizing someone else is more entertaining for them. So that's how they get their views. Attacking other people and tearing other people down because they don't have any real gaming talent at all. You know, these are the games they play. So let me show off this one. Basically I wanna make sure we get this 100% straight. Dragon Audit Steam Store. Just want to make sure we get this. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So Dragon Audit came out last year, December 8th. So that is December 8th of 2020. So Dragon Audit was a PC exclusive since December of last year. So this is a PC exclusive that came to consoles. We didn't ask for it. We didn't know it existed until today. But this is the garbage that they fucking play. And they're the master race, right? This is the master race. I've saw so many Japanese RPGs that just look way, way better than this. But you know, this is the weirdo master race. I've saw better animations and dreams than this shit. Let me just say one thing. I've had this opinion about this for a long time, and I want to say it publicly. I think PlayStation needs quality control. I don't think every single game on PC that used to be a PC exclusive needs to come to consoles. I also feel this the traditional way. I don't think PlayStation exclusives need to go to PC. You know, I understand that they want better quality games than Dragon Audit, but I don't want Dragon Audit. I don't want this garbage. So yes, this is another fact that they are losing exclusives that we don't even want, because not even they want the games, and most of them probably don't even know this game exists. Not every. I'm sorry. It's look. This is why I don't think PlayStation exclusives should go over there. The PC market is cluttered with so many games. Most of these guys don't even know certain games are out. This is a prime example. This is just fucking crazy, man. Dragon Audit. Oh my god. I mean, this is the PC shit. This is a game made for them, probably by them, with that anime profile picture shit. Like this is them. This is what they want. Um so I was just wondering, I mean, I'm looking through the games right now. I'm trying to figure out if this is also a PC game. This might be just a traditional third party title. This one looks like it's of a higher quality. Okay. This definitely would be for people that have OCD. Oh, it looks like you got some fighting in here. Okay. Uh-oh. Got some good shit in here. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. I can get with this shit. Pine? Oh, I can get with that. That would scratch a Zelda itch right there. That's, I can fuck with that. Okay. I can fuck with that. Now, nobody's confirming this is exclusive, but I will do a little bit of research and see if it's on the Steam store already. Yep. Pine. Pine was released in 2019 on the Steam store, confirming that Pine, which we just saw right there, is yet another PC exclusive coming to consoles. You see how easy that is? Just research. Super chat by my boy DJ D. What's going on, bro? Good morning, everybody. We started early today. I got my rest or whatever. So we're good. Still haven't eaten breakfast yet, but I'm gonna try to squeeze that shit in. So as far as today is concerned, over the last 2 days, but it's actually today because I think they uploaded the videos. I think they uploaded the videos like 2 days ago, but then they finally went up today. So Pine, Dragon Audit, both games coming from the PC, and just today, we find out that two games on PC are no longer exclusive to PC. Now, remember, they probably don't even know they exist because there's so many games on PC. However, each week, each fucking week, 5-day week, Monday to Friday, when PlayStation posts videos, most of it looks like fucking just shit I never fucking heard of. And if you do some research, you will find out that these games are very real and they existed on the PC platform. PC has lost so many games I can't even fucking keep track. They've lost hundreds of games, or will probably lose more than hundreds of games each year. Um, these are games that are only on their platform, labeled as exclusives. Most of the time, we don't want them. This is a nice little crossover. World of Warships Legends, Godzilla versus Kong. Well, at least they don't have to make their own game. That shit looks fucking tough. Oh, that looks fucking dope. Again, like I said, everybody can do shit like this. Everybody can have like cross promotions. It's so fucking cool. Kind of weird, you know? Like I thought that Fortnite would have had a cross promotion with Kong and Godzilla because it was hyped up to be a pretty big movie. So that was crazy, huh? Okay. We had some technical difficulties yesterday. It turned out it wasn't YouTube at all. It was actually Verizon. Um, and they had outages throughout the East Coast yesterday, and also in Chicago. So, yeah, it seemed like you know kind of unlucky yesterday. Um, again, I can't remember the dude's name, but I do remember yesterday there was someone that was like, "Hey, are you gonna do more debates?" I don't mind, but the debates are now. It's like, hey, we're doing a debate so you can hear what other people have to say, right? You're doing a debate so you can hear how crazy they are. Um, I can go check out the playlist and send you a link to it so you can see how many of them I've done, but I've done more than I wanted to. And I'm not going to back down from any of the debates, even if it's by somebody like that. If they got the balls to talk, we should listen to them and hear how stupid they sound. Um, just so you guys can educate yourself on, hey, when somebody says this, like, if you hear somebody say all games should be on all platforms, you should understand that's from a PC fan. That is not from a PlayStation gamer. But we will talk about that, and we will talk about how um, the current level of Big Three does under this pressure, right? I'm still trying to get the classic Tomb Raider, so I apologize for playing Fortnite. I know everybody hates this shit with a passion, but at least I'm gonna get that classic Tomb Raider because we were able to take an awesome picture. I guess we had a game night it was featured by Fortnite, but we did have a game night, and I just wanted to show y'all this real quick. Let me see. No, 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 no. Media type, screenshots. Took way too many that I want. And is that it? Here we go. So we were able to take a nice little picture right here. So I had Kratos, and then Emo Pimp 1122. He had Laura Croft, and then Wreck the Heroic. He had Aloy. What I think we could have used was somebody that had a Ryu skin from Street Fighter. Even though Street Fighter is not completely exclusive, Part 5 was exclusive, and it would have been a nice little setup of PlayStation characters going into battle. So, like I said, it does seem like PlayStation is timing the addition of PlayStation characters along with announcements or hype. So, God of War did go to Fortnite around the time that the 60 frames per second patch was out. Aloy is going. She went to Fortnite around the time that Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition is supposed to be coming out for free. So, you know, um, they might add Ellie and Joel around the time that the Last of Us remake comes out next year. They might add Uncharted, like Nathan Drake, around the time the Uncharted movie comes out. Like it'll be shit like that. That's just from what I'm seeing so far. There was no real reason to add Master Chief. There wasn't anything special going on with Halo. I think adding Master Chief was just in response to PlayStation adding Kratos. But if we're gonna get it interesting, because I know you guys love the Xbox versus PlayStation shit. If we're gonna go tit for tat, right, and PlayStation adds a character on Fortnite, again, we know nobody likes Fortnite, but if PlayStation keeps adding characters to Fortnite, will Xbox be able to keep up? Because if you would look at the new line of characters that we have, now Ratchet and Clank isn't a humanoid character, so it'll be kind of different to add him. You could add some outfits, but you couldn't actually add him because he's not a human. Um, and Fortnite has been adding humanoid characters of a certain height. So Nathan Drake, perfect fit. He shoots. You shoot in Fortnite. There you go. Um, he's also had a parachute and some other shit, so you can add him. Deacon, even though it looks like PlayStation doesn't want to mess around with Days Gone anymore because they consider it a failure. I'm just saying what everybody is thinking. You could add him, but they probably won't. It would have been a nice addition, but they didn't do it. Let me see who else we got. I'm just listing off all the characters we got. We got I forgot his fucking name, but we got the dude, the main character from The Order 1886. He could have been a perfect fit. Awesome outfit, by the way. Let's see. Obviously, Ellie and Joel from The Last of Us. They have guns. Um, if you really wanted to, you could have added a character for a cross promotion with Destruction All Stars. Like any of these characters would have fit in. I mean, that's if they wanted to. I mean, if you really want to go petty, you could add a race car driver from Gran Turismo, but I don't know if they're gonna do that. Oh, here we go. This is a long line of characters right here. Okay, so you got Miles Morales. Obviously, they have not added Spider-Man, and that's on Disney. So I think it would pretty much be up to Sony to add Spider-Man to the game, not Disney. Something I thought about when they added that large line of Marvel characters. You have Delson Rowe from Infamous or Cole McGrath from the original two Infamous. This would have been a very popular addition since they're messing around with bow and arrows this time. Jin from Ghost of Tsushima would have been a nice addition. He doesn't have any guns, but he has a very unique style. I wouldn't mind it. That would have been cool. So you keep adding characters on a PlayStation side. Xbox is able to keep up? No. So we go back to um what the cover image is supposed to be, and the cover image is supposed to be. Hold on, the cover image is supposed to be here, but I don't have it. Uh, Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I added that shit right before we. Did I add it in logos? Yes, I added it in logos. So I added it in the logos section on the Discord. So the good thing is you can own this picture, or you can get it off of Twitter, or I just send it to you on PSN. There we go. So I'm gonna go put this cover image so you guys can see. I made it today. It's based off of an older image that I created, um, and I thought it was funny. You guys might not think it's funny, but it's really important. I mean, I want to say Nintendo's a part of the big three, but they're not, because they don't not playing by the same rules, and that is the evolution of gaming. And in that regards, graphics. Features like 60 frames, 120 frames, ray tracing. Better textures, shit like that. Nintendo doesn't give a fuck about that, and they can sell games just fine without being competitive in that aspect. So they're not actually a part of the big three, because so many of the AAA gaming, the AAA studios, right, that make multi-platform titles, they don't even put their games on Switch. So Nintendo can't be a part of the big three until they actually start acting like they want to be a part of the big three. And as of right now, they don't seem to want to act that way. So this is the big three right now. PC by default, obviously PC isn't a console, but let's say the PC is temporarily holding the spot of Nintendo until Nintendo, let's say, maybe they can get back into the big three with the Nintendo Switch 4K, which means that they actually want to be more competitive with the other side. They might not say it, they might not even act like it, but there's no reason to bring out a 4K system if you don't think you're missing out on shit that we already know you're missing out on. So bringing out that 4K Switch would allow them to get games like Call of Duty again, would allow them to get Madden again, would allow them to get new Need for Speeds, would allow them to get wrestling games, and so on and so on. The more generic multi-platform annual games they would be able to have. As you know, you can't really do a lot of cross-play when it comes to Nintendo Switch on the PS5, because PS5 does 60 frames on Fortnite. So even though Nintendo and Xbox teamed up in the summer of 2018 or 2019, if I'm not sure, trying to say that Sony was evil because they didn't allow crossplay on Fortnite, well, because PlayStation and Xbox believe in the advancement of gaming technology, their new systems allow their consumers to play the game in 60 frames, which does not allow us to play with other people that can't play in 60 frames, which would be PS4, Xbox One, or Switch in this case. So you see how that they automatically get left behind. So they want to be back with the big boys. You got to start acting like a big boy. That kitty shit is not cute all the time. I fucking really isn't. That's why I fucking left them, because I'm not a fucking kid, and I haven't been a kid in a long, long time. My boy Cyber Dragon's up in here. What's going on, bro? Cooper Clips always in here, bro. Thank you for the support, man. Just being here. I don't care if you like or subscribe. Just being here, that's awesome, man. Always here. Unknown, what's going on? Surgeon's always here. Motherfuckers, just legends. Uh, if you hate work in real life, you can enjoy it virtually. Just kidding. Name a Sony exclusive that sells better than a Nintendo exclusive. I can't, because we have so many people over here that actually are not as hardcore as you think. Like, Nintendo fans are really, really hardcore. They will buy their games. We have a mixed breed of people over here, and I've made that really, really clear over the last 2 weeks. You don't have a lot of people like me and Sick Humor and Jabari and J Dub and Somatic and even Adam, if his funds permit, or somebody like Sam, you know. or Enzo or Vedger or Umar or Future Element. I know some of you guys are hardcore. You will buy exclusives. You know they're going to be good. You're going to buy them, and you're going to buy them day one or even pre-order them or even get the collector's edition. But we don't have a lot of true gamers. And it takes a lot more work to convince the type of gamers to sit over here on the PlayStation side than it does on Nintendo. Did you know Animal Crossing was going to be better than The Last of Us? No. And it actually isn't. But they brought it more than The Last of Us. But why did they buy it more than The Last of Us? It didn't have as many good visuals. It didn't have the story. The previous Animal Crossing wasn't even as hyped up or award winning as The Last of Us, the first one. But Nintendo fans are dedicated. They know Nintendo means quality, and they know they're going to support that shit. You could say the same thing for Mario Kart, which sold 40 million on the Switch. We can call Nintendo Switch an anomaly if we want. We can say it's very, very similar to the Wii. But one thing I will say that's different from the Wii and Nintendo Switch is these are games that are selling to gamers on Switch. This is not grandmas and grandpas buying the system because you want some, athletic moments in your life where you can play Wii Sports and shit. No, the people that picked up the Switch are interested in buying games and playing them. So, hats off to the Nintendo fans that have supported the Switch over the last 3 or 4 years. You guys are doing the right thing. Now, I'm not telling us to go witch hunt PlayStation fans that are not really PlayStation fans and kick them out of the group. But as you can see, there are people that sit on this side, like you saw from the debate on Saturday, if you were sitting in here, that people that speak like us or pretend to be us are not actually us. And we had an individual that claimed that he would buy used game in order to fuck over Sony. Well, that game's not getting a sale. He gets one sale. Because you knew what you were doing and you refused to buy the game day one because you didn't want to support the developer. So when you see shit like that, you definitely not going to make it to Animal Crossing, which sold 30 million, or a fucking Mario Kart, which sold 40 million. Doesn't mean our games are not better than theirs. It's just not selling as much. Because we have a diverse amount of gamers. And as you can see from the PC games that we don't give two fucks about coming over here, as well as the AAA third-party multi-platform games that always appear over here, gamers have more of a choice here. On Nintendo, you're going to have to buy that Mario Kart because you're not getting Need for Speed. So that boosts the sales. There's not many racing games on the Switch. So it's kind of like that, When's the last time a basketball, wrestling game, football game, and a Call of Duty game showed up on a Nintendo system? Right? A long time. So they don't have as many games, but the games they do have are from Nintendo, and they know that means quality, so they're going to buy that shit a lot more because they don't have anything else to pick up. So, I don't know if you were trying to prove a point, but the point is they will buy their exclusives more than us, but people over here, we have a lot more options. It's just a fact. The more options you have, the less a game might sell from that studio, or that might be good. Dez, you're right, bro. You're not going to find a Nintendo game that has as many Game of the Year awards. Even though it might have sold more than The Last of Us, Animal Crossing didn't pick up nearly as many Game of the Year awards as Ghost of Tsushima. But that's what they had to play in the beginning of last year, so they picked it up. They didn't have anything else. That's why we don't see Nintendo in this picture for the big three, because we can't really take them seriously. They're not taking themselves seriously, but they're making bank. We cannot deny that. They're making that bank. They're selling a lot of copies of their games at full price. They're selling their console at full price. They have never came down off of that $300 price point for the Switch. They're very smart. This time around, they know that they have a dedicated gamer install base, and they know those gamers are always going to be there and buy their games. They're very, very smart. This is something you do when you're smart. And you can sell a 4-year-old $50 game to the consumer, and they won't bitch about it, but they'll sit down and they'll buy that shit. So what we're dealing with is Nintendo knows their worth, and they're not going to jeopardize that by flirting around with putting games on another platform that will not boost the worth of their hardware, which they know is making them a lot of money. Because we know that the older hardware gets, right, the cheaper the parts are. And normally that means the company will lower the price of that hardware. So from what people have been telling me, they're just really making a lot of money off of software. But think of it this way. Nintendo knows the Switch has very, very old parts. It's very outdated. But instead of lowering the price of the Nintendo Switch from $300 to anywhere to $200 or $100 and sell even more systems, they were like, nah, we know our system shit, but we're making a lot of money off of this shitty hardware, because guess what? We're never dropping the fucking price. Switch been out since 2017. Still $400. Sorry, still $300. They never drop the price of the Switch. It's a smart thing to do if you can get away with it. Most of the time, the media and the gamers are so pissed off about what Xbox or PlayStation is doing that they don't really pay attention to the fuck shit Nintendo does. I mean, if I had my way, it would just be a two-man race. It would be Xbox versus PlayStation. But we can't have Xbox versus PlayStation, because when third-party AAA developers that make multi-platform games look for a third platform, they normally put their games on the PC now. The Switch can't handle the game, so they put it on PC. That's why PC is in this image for the big three. You can't put Need for Speed on the Nintendo Switch, but guess what? You can put it on PC. So you have a three-source revenue stream right there. Nintendo got to get their shit together, so we don't even have to look at PC. PC is in the argument because Nintendo fucked up. They still making money, though. They're still successful. They doing good. They just not playing the game that everybody else is playing. They want gaming to go forward. Nintendo was like, nah, gaming can stay where the fuck it's at, because we're making a lot of money where it's at. So we don't feel like we have to make a new console anytime soon, because motherfuckers are still buying our system at top price. People are still buying our games that are 4 years old at top price. We're good. We're good. Yeah, Doc Dark. Nintendo is the golden child. They can do no wrong, even when they do wrong all the time. I've already heard PC fans tell other PC fans that they're going to pirate Days Gone because it's $50. They don't want to pay the $50. They're going to crack the game. They're going to wait for a Steam store sale. All of this other shit. But some of these people do have a side system, aka the Nintendo Switch, which they had to buy at top price. And when you buy those games, you have to buy them at top price. So you don't have a problem paying $50 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is still $50 since it launched with the Switch in 2017. But you have a problem paying for Days Gone, which is $50 with higher quality and a longer story. It's a double standard. Again, Nintendo is the golden child. They can do no wrong. Yeah, Dez, I give them credit for the handheld craze. Um, I don't give them credit for motion control because PlayStation was messing around with it before them, but they did push it enough for PlayStation to take it a little bit more serious. Um, that's it. Handheld and motion controls, I give them credit for. You know, I also give them credit for knowing the worth of their games and not compromising on price and not compromising on the platform it's released on. I respect Nintendo for doing that. They believe in exclusives and they know exclusives sell that hardware. And in their case, they still make money off of the hardware because it's made out of old parts and they're still selling it at top price. No one has came to Nintendo to say, "Hey Nintendo, it's unfair that you're selling this system that came out in 2017 at the same price it was released for in 2017. Hey Nintendo, why did you only mark off $10 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Why is it still $50 after so many years on the market?" Again, Nintendo can do no wrong. They can do wrong, they're just not going to be called out on it. And if you call them out on it, then a group, fuck that shit. An army of Nintendo fans will attack you. That shit doesn't bother me because I started with Nintendo before people thought it was popular to be with Nintendo. And I'm talking about the Switch fans. Because a lot of people that are on the Switch's dick was not there with the GameCube and was not there with the N64. So, I was there with them with the worst of times. Like the DS was really good. The original DS was really good, right? It was advancement in technology like I've never saw for handhelds ever. Dual screen, higher resolution, pick no chat that me and my cousins would play at night. Like that was awesome. Had a fucking calendar on that shit. I could play my Game Boy Advance games still on the bottom screen. The shit was just fire, right? But that next year, so it came out it came out November of 2004. So in 2005, it had a horrible drought. It had a horrible drought. I could not find any new DS games. And I had this website I used to look at where they would tell me what games were coming out, but they were so far away. Like I know how it feels to be an Xbox fan looking at a stupid ass list of games that are years away. Cause I experienced this as a Nintendo fan so many years ago. That's why the Xbox panel, it has the Xbox logo. It just says no games underneath because they don't have any. See, um, the big three could be a two-person race between PC and PlayStation because everything on Xbox is on PC. So you really don't need Xbox in this image. But I did it just to be nice because I'm a nice person, you know. By the way, it was a couple of trolls yesterday. I found them lingering around in a debate shit, so I took it upon myself to block them so I wouldn't have to deal with that dumb shit anymore. Look, if you're on the side of PC and you want to have a discussion or a debate, I'm willing to have a discussion or a debate. But if you're getting your information from people, let's say like Rags or Fratanga, and that's how you got radicalized as a PC master race, you want to have a discussion PC, or a debate, I'm willing to have a PC enthusiast or whatever you want to call yourself. I can't fuck with you. I can't talk to you. I will not talk to you. I want to talk to like real PC people that didn't start building PCs in 2015 or 2016. I want to talk to PC people that knew the worth of a PC before 2015. You know, go look it up. Rags, Fratanga, they came around after 2015. Was PlayStation 4 a threat for the PC community? Yes, it was a threat. It was producing high quality graphics that PC was not getting. They were getting a lot of indie games, smaller titles, because developers stopped wasting money on PC because they learned that they were making more money on consoles. So they don't have big budgets on PC when they release games only on PC. That's why the games don't look as good. Higher frame rates and higher resolution does not mean the game is better than a game like The Last of Us Part 2. It just means you have a higher resolution and higher frame rate. It doesn't make the game better. The PC community these days are very, very delusional, and they're full of themselves. So I don't want to talk to anybody that started building their PC after 2015. I don't want to talk to anybody that joined the PC master race after 2015. I need to talk to people that are on the PC side and have been there before 2015. I'm saying 2015 because that's the year that you guys found out about me. So I want to make sure whoever I'm talking about was not educated by somebody on fucking YouTube. Sorry. And that's the final thing I have to say about that. I'm being serious. I'm not doing any more debates with little ass kids or people that did not find interest in PC until Rags or Fratanga showed up on the scene. Because that right there, you're not a PC Master Race member if you had to get inspired by one of those weirdos. Sorry. If PC was the master race for you, you should have fucking knew it before those two idiots showed up on YouTube. Shit. I fucking knew PlayStation was good before I watched El Presador or Solid Rev on YouTube. Like, I knew PlayStation was the place to be when my brother kept bringing in Japanese RPG after Japanese RPG every fucking Friday. I knew where the games was. Before I even fucking made a YouTube account, I knew where the games were. I knew where I wanted to be before I made a YouTube account in 2006. That's some real gamer shit. If you have to have someone on YouTube tell you which side you need to be on, you don't even need to be on that side. You need to go back, think about where the games are, why you want to be where you are going. You know, some people pick PC because they have YouTubers they like to watch and they pick PC. So by default, because the YouTuber that you picked is on one side, you feel that you need to be on that side in order to feel closer to that individual. That's some weak ass shit. That's a weak way to think about your own self. If you're a real gamer, go where the games are. The debate I had, the dude was talking about testing out PC, but he knew so much about PC, you would have considered him a PC gamer. He was pretending to be a PlayStation gamer, so it wouldn't raise suspicions and the debate wouldn't happen. But we were already in the debate, and he was carrying on with the charade. If PC is so awesome to you, that's where you need to be. You took a PS5 from a gamer that could have used it better than you do. You don't want Ratchet and Clank. But somebody else out there wanted a PS5 so they could play Ratchet and Clank. You took that opportunity away from a true blue PlayStation gamer. That right there pissed me off during the debate. That shit really pissed me off. If you wanted to be with PC, you should have started building that shit last year before the PS5 came out and just waited the entire year until one of the Ratchet and Clanks ended up going to PC. You motherfuckers did not have a problem waiting 6 years, still waiting 6 years by the way, for Bloodborne to go to PC. And there's still no confirmation on that. I just want to check this guy out that's talking in the chat. So excuse me. I think doing research is the most important thing. Educating yourself is the most important thing. Like when I talk about these games that ended up going to PC, I always want to make sure that I did my research. Sorry, these games that end up going to consoles from PC, I do my research to make sure we know that yes, they were indeed a PC exclusive because they released this year before they ended up on consoles. So, well, I can't find the guy you guys are talking to. I just searched YouTube. Let me go see if I can filter it by channel. So if I filter it by channel, the guy you're talking to, he hasn't produced any content enough for YouTube to track. So it's okay if you guys don't want to argue with him anymore. What's going on, Henry? How you doing? That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, you guys don't need to argue with him because obviously he hasn't produced anything on YouTube for me to track, so he's just a fucking troll. Remember, the channel has been around for 10 years, so if somebody comes in that's brand new, I'm gonna know. You know? So I'm just saying, I've been playing video games on this channel for 10 years. You know, I've been here for 10 years. So if you really wanted to check me out, you would have checked me out by now. That's how I know when we have trolls. Especially ones that don't take the time to do a profile picture. Like every single person here, if you're not a moderator, you have a profile picture. Whether it's your real picture, like Cooper Clips, I believe, Surgeon, with some person in his profile picture, or Dez, I made his logo, or Doc Dark 1985, which has a turtle as a profile picture, or Gregory, which has, I believe, Ken from Street Fighter, or the Unknown, which has an altered picture of Jim Ryan. Like, you took the time to put a profile picture. You considered, you know, all of the aspects of how the internet works. You know, it's really, really easy. You make an account, you post a picture so people can identify you. It's easy. I don't know why people do what they do. I just think they need to stop. While we're on Twitter, I'm gonna go run through just to see if anything is going on here. So again, me waking up roughly around 7 this morning. So from 7 to 11, from 7 to 11, Guerrilla Games didn't say a single thing about Horizon being free today. Now, we know Horizon's supposed to be free, but if you don't talk about your own game being free for everybody, either you don't want people to get it for free because you want to hide the fact that it's free, or you don't want people to draw attention to the game that they're getting for free that might be on a more advanced system that you released last November that have been politely asking you for the 60 frames per second patch. You know, I wonder, have they ever did a crossover with Resident Evil and Fortnite? Because people are talking about Resident Evil, especially this tall lady, so much that I'm surprised that Epic and Capcom haven't came to the table and said, you know what, let's add this person. Sadly, if they add the tall vampire lady, she's going to be normal human height. So that kind of sucks. Unless she's like a boss in a level for Fortnite. So the thing is, what I'm seeing is everybody else and their mother is telling gamers that Horizon Zero Dawn the Complete Edition is free. But Guerrilla Games and PlayStation has not made the official announcement today. I find it really, really suspicious. It looks like we can confirm with a big, big red alert right here today that it seems like The Last of Us has reached the 300 Game of the Year mark, which is a big, big achievement, meaning that we have one of the best games of all fucking time, but we already knew that because the first Last of Us was the best game of all time. Haters gonna hate, man. Look at the false narratives they spread about this game. Look at the misinformation they spread about this game. You know, people were mad because Abby hit Joel in the head multiple times until he was dead. And they didn't know the context behind that scene. But if you were a fan of the series, if you were a gamer, right, that played the first game, but maybe not a fan, you wanted to play the second game to see what was going to happen next anyway. Well, if you played the game, you found out that Joel shot the doctor that was going to operate on Abby, that was going to get the cure from her body so they could save mankind. And Joel fucked mankind over by killing the doctor that was the father of Abby. I'm not saying Abby killed Joel because life was not a perfect place without that cure, but she definitely wanted revenge on Joel for killing her father, which she was very close with if you played Last of Us Part 2. But PC fans, Xbox fans, and the media spread a false narrative that there was no reason for Joel to die. But if you played The Last of Us Part 2 all the way through, we understand that there was not only Abby, but there were other people that wanted to kill Joel for fucking over humanity on a potential vaccine to cure people from the disease that is the infection of The Last of Us. And through it all, once people played it, they found out, oh my god, this is a great game. It has 300 Game of the Year awards. It surpassed The Witcher 3. And obviously, Cyberpunk is no threat, even though everyone last year wanted the Cyberpunk game to be better than the Last of Us game. Isn't that funny how shit turns out? The PC fans are still pissed off about that. Cyberpunk is their baby, right? I don't know why. The game's a multi-platform title. It's on Xbox One, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Like, the game is a multi-platform title. I don't know why they felt entitled to claim it as their own. They do this dumb shit all the time, especially with Doom. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal are available on consoles with 60 frames per second, I might add. But yeah, 300 Game of the Year awards. Really, really nice. That's awesome. 300. That's crazy. That's just really, really crazy. So, what I want to do right here is I want to just have a marker for our Discord debate section. But Discord is, YouTube is telling me I have 47 videos in the Discord debate folder. I think a couple might have been deleted because of copyright claims. But other than that, 47 different debates. 47. I've debated 47 of these idiots. Think about that. Well, sorry. It's 47 that they're counting, but it's only 36. Sorry, 36. 36 idiots of the debates that are still there. Originally, it was 47. But 36 different debates. 30 fucking 6. And I started this shit. Let me see when the first debate was. The first debate I did was 2017. Isn't that funny? The PC fans got me on their radar in 2015. My first debate is 2017. They're still after me.
We're helping them out. We're Intertech.
No, they are still after me to this very day. Gotta love it. It's a long ass time to hate somebody. Long time. Vedger, we'll see, man. What some people believe might not be a reality. I believe a lot of shit should happen, but doesn't mean it's going to happen. I could see them actually partnering up with Activision. I could see them partnering up with Epic and Capcom. Namco Bandai continues to do marketing right projects with Xbox, so I don't think that they would be able to partner up with Bandai Namco, even though Bandai Namco games or Namco Bandai games sell better on PlayStation. For some reason, they keep doing these marketing contracts with Xbox for their Japanese RPGs, and I don't know if that would be a conflict of interest to team up with Xbox, but also be teaming up with PlayStation at the same exact time for the same type of game. So we can mark off Namco Bandai. Konami still holds a grudge with PlayStation because they wanted to team up with Kojima, which they fired. So there's some bad blood there, even though it shouldn't, because PlayStation made Metal Gear popular. Remember, Metal Gear was released on Nintendo systems, and before that there was another system it was released on, but it didn't get its popularity until it appeared on the PlayStation 1. So again, there's no reason for them to be upset at PlayStation. They should be real good friends with PlayStation, but again, we know why they're not. Capcom, so it would leave Activision, Epic Games, Capcom, and that'll be it. I don't know if it'll be for PlayStation Now. It could be partnerships for PlayStation Plus because they have a higher subscription count. So we'll see how that goes. Are you guys still arguing with that little the troll that nobody knows? Just wandered in here today. Okay. Do you guys mind if I gotta go get breakfast? So let me go make some cereal. Um, you guys can argue with asshole right there, but when I come back, he's probably getting blocked because he's saying stupid ass shit. Again, I don't know his background, but he's speaking on the behalf of PlayStation fans when he says, and I quote, "Why wouldn't you want a Game Pass response? It would be amazing with all these new IPs." So with all these new IPs and exclusives, you think Sony should hurt themselves by releasing their game potentially free when they make more money releasing the game at $60 or $70 so they can fund a new project that's even better than the project we're getting this year. Do you guys know how that shit works? Right? What happened when I started getting more subscribers? Well, when I got more subscribers, I felt that I needed to change the channel. I saw where you guys wanted to be. The video views were lower, so we continued to do live streams to cover the news because that's where you guys wanted to be. So then I changed the channel. And I've kept upgrading and adding things to it. Making the quality better, making the thumbnails better because I see that you guys care. So because you guys care and you have invested into this channel, I've made it better. If you guys were not here, if you're not investing in the channel, why would I make it better? So if PlayStation is giving their games away for free, how are they making the money to make their shit better? It's fucking crazy. Okay, Spartan, I'm coming in. Fuck, these guys are fucking delusional. Fucking delusional. What's going on?
Coming in.
This dude said make a Game Pass challenger. Like, I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm just like, How is
Oh,
that
now I can hear him
beneficial
on
to
this end.
gamers in the long run
Facts.
getting better quality games? How does that work, Spartan?
It doesn't work.
Spartan, would you like to go to work for free? That's
No, because the
beneficial to the
fuck up.
company, right? Like that's very
Wait,
beneficial to
wait,
them.
wait, wait, wait,
Yeah.
wait. Facts. Wait. So what I'm going for? Because work literally comes with pay. Like, so if I go to work for free, nigga, what's the point of me going? I could have stayed
That's what
home.
I'm saying. What's the point of making a good quality game if you ain't getting the revenue from it? You don't feel that you need high quality anymore.
What you talking about the
Quality
Days Gone
goes
thing?
out the window when you're not getting paid for that shit.
Wait, you're talking about the Days Gone thing, right?
Nah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this idiot in the chat saying that PlayStation needs their
About
own
Game
Game
Pass?
Pass. Yeah.
If that was the case,
If you put all your IPs on a Game Pass equivalent on PlayStation, the quality will go out the window. We just saw what happened with Xbox.
no, wait,
Why
not
do
even that,
people want
Jay.
PlayStation to be like Xbox so much, man?
No, but I want to
Because they love
know.
games as service.
I gotta get
But
breakfast, man. So I'm gonna be right
Jay,
back. Cause if I keep talking, I ain't
I
gonna
have
eat. I'll be back.
I have a question for
Yeah, let us
PlayStation
take
Gamer,
over
bro.
for a second.
No, PlayStation. I'm actually a question in the chat. This they want PlayStation to have their own Game Pass. Exactly what are they going to gain from that? Because if they put the games they want in a service, they're not going to make so much money as they did. I'm sure the purpose of a service and a company is to make money. Look how much money Sony made in 2020 from PlayStation, 25 billion. That is literally double what Tencent made. Tencent owns shit in gaming. Nigga, Tencent is worth what? $400 billion, I think.
Well, you have to think. I've always thought like this: if Sony does their own, Game Pass service, it's extra revenue for them. Now, do I think games should go there day and date? No, but I think what should happen is a year after launch, hey, put in our Game Pass service. Maybe that will boost up the numbers for Game Pass, and then we could get extra revenue from that.
No, because if they do that in a service, that means the price you're going to pay is lower, right? But then what's the point? Because once a year comes, they already have discounts on the price of their games.
Because they're gonna still have people buying games.
There's no
People will
point
still buy
because
games. I know for a fact. Good.
the Days
Sorry, I didn't
Gone
mean to
thing,
interrupt.
it's not my bad. Oh, I was just going to comment on what you just said. It's like people are waiting for games to go on sale when they go into a service, right? You just get Days Gone an example. The director just said, if you want a sequel, buy games at full price at launch and not wait, right? Sony's already basically doing what Game Pass is doing because down the line, once the games come out at launch at full price, don't they lower the price? They're already doing what Game Pass is doing.
Normally, it takes a while for them to drop the price of the games, like a year after launch. Then they'll drop it from for example, like during the PS4 gen, they were dropping it from 60 to 30.
Right. So they're already doing what Game Pass wants to do, like without Game Pass. So I don't know why people are so keen on PlayStation doing their day-and-date games. If they did that, bro, Game Pass is going to get murdered. But here's the thing: so with PlayStation and its quality of games, people fail to realize that because they're so used to something, all they see is price, right? Because all people saw at PS4 was price and power. So they feel, oh, if Xbox has the power and the game's price is lower, it seems like a better value. I get it. Basically, they're trying to use Sony's strategy. But the thing is, there is no reason for Sony to make that type of Game Pass because they make money regardless with the games at full price and after them on sale. So what's the point?
Well, my point being, like, okay, if people are going to be cheapskates and they're going to wait for the game, to go on sale, why not have some kind of offer where it's like, hey, you know what? Here's $15 a month for you cheapskates that don't want to buy the game day one. Technically, they still make a little bit of money off it because I don't know how that whole thing works, but they'll make like at least $15 off it. Hey, you cheapskates, you get what you want, and the people who still pay full price get what they want. It's a win-win.
You mean at day one or afterwards?
Depends. I would say I would actually base it off of if the game was doing well. Like if the game's doing well, wait a year. Freaking if the game's having flops, like like these smaller games, like the Medieval remake, might as well put it on their day and date.
That shouldn't even flop. That's sold a million. Oh, I see what you're saying. That actually makes sense. But you know
Yeah.
what I think is the perfect option for that? Do you remember
What?
the PlayStation Plus collection? Do that.
Yes.
Think about it. You see how they put
But that's
PlayStation All Stars? Keep them in there.
Game Pass.
Right.
But that's
See,
the
they
thing.
already have it. Exactly. Just
Yeah.
put the
But
games there.
all people are asking is like, hey, maybe just do it as more as a put more games in, or I don't
Basically,
know, freaking restart. PlayStation Now, rebrand it. I mean to say,
the
because
Plus collection
PlayStation
is
Now is essentially Game Pass, just
mhm,
with the streaming capabilities.
for
Streaming
PS3
right there on
games.
the spot.
For PS3 games,
Yeah.
basically. If they
So
allow
instead of calling
PS3
it
downloads,
PlayStation Now, just call it the PlayStation Pass. Then, hey, some of our smaller games are going to go in there day and date. I don't think that's going to move people like to go there day one, but they're going to hear people like, ooh, Ape Escape remake, that real good. You know what? I wasn't going to buy that, but $15 for a couple weeks. Well, no, $50 a month, but I play for a couple weeks. Why not?
you was right the first time. Uh-huh. See, like that. I think they smaller games, like things that instead of putting it on PC, put it in Plus or the games collection. Because remember, before the PS5 came out, they had to literally say the Plus collection is not Game Pass. They literally had to say that because
Oh,
think about it, it was. If you think about it, as soon as you got a PS5, you have Plus, you have access to all them games. If you
that's
do
true.
PS Now, you could download all how many PS4 games? Of course, PS4 and PS5 and PC. So I don't know what they're talking about. Like Sony needs their own Game Pass. They have it already. Basically, they have it already.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, like PlayStation Now is essentially their Game Pass. That just doesn't work like Game Pass right now. But you never know. Sony could be like, oh, you know what? Why do we have to build a new service when we could just build upon the old one,
I think
save
they
some
are.
money instead? That's what I'm hearing. That's what it sounds like it's going to happen, and I'm all supportive of PlayStation Now because I think it's a good service. I think it gives us good value. I wish the
Mhm.
servers were a little bit more stable, but
Right.
for what you're paying for, you're getting quite a bit of a deal. And plus, the
You
games you
know,
could download are pretty damn good for the most part.
yeah. I think the only thing that would make PS Now exactly like Game Pass is if PS3 games can be downloadable. Once that shit happens, I don't think Game Pass is no longer well, it's
See,
not a
that's
threat. Just
where you're going to run into technical problems with that, though. That's the only problem with it.
I don't think so because them patents sound like, oh, we finished. We just make sure nobody steal our technique.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Microsoft have
I'm just basing it off right now what we currently have. You know,
oh yeah,
instead, yeah, instead of upgrading and all that. But no, I agree. If they put the PS3 games where they were downloadable, that actually would
that's
be
it.
pretty freaking cool. Cause there's some fucking PS3 games on that list that are like barely anyone talks about, and I played. I was like, dude, these things are amazing.
hmm
Oh wow, my
That's
fucking
that's just
microphone went
scary.
on.
It's accurate, yeah. But I think that's the only thing. I mean, I'm saying Game Pass is bad for like Xbox per se. Like if y'all can't afford like because it's that level of stretching we in technically a pandemic. If you're not going to work or you're working from home and overtime you was getting and the money you used to have, you don't have like that no more. And Game Pass is a good option. Like Fatal, you see a Fatal situation, he can't really buy games like that. He got to save. So Game Pass helps. I get it. But to
Oh,
say that Sony,
some guys talking to me. Some guys talked to me in my Fortnite session.
oh,
Yeah, I'm in a live stream with a Discord, some friends, and we're
You
talking
probably
about
should
Game
mute your
Pass and
Fortnite
PlayStation Now.
session because yeah, they might attack your foot.
I like how he just kindly just creep back into the
No, I
what
was
the
listening
fuck,
to
yeah?
you guys for a while though.
But Jay, you don't think that makes sense? Like for Sony, just like if the game is like lower the price, they could just put it in the Plus collection. That's literally, they said at this point, 90% of people, I mean, 85%
Whenever
of
they
people
feel
on
that their
PS5.
game needs to go to the $20 mark, I agree. They should throw that shit into the Plus collection.
Exactly, because you might as
But
well,
not
because
not
not
anywhere,
everyone's gonna
not the
buy it for 20
50,
bucks.
not the 50, 40, or $30 mark. I'm talking about once it goes to what they used to classify as the greatest hits back in the day.
Classics, yeah,
Or
yeah.
classics.
So to
That's
when
when they need to throw it
they
in
hit
Game Pass.
the greatest hit,
So,
when they hit the greatest hits,
um,
yeah.
what I do believe, and I know they might not want this, But especially when it comes to your exclusives, you should definitely throw them inside of the PlayStation Plus collection. Not just also add them to PlayStation Plus for 1 month, but add them in the PlayStation Plus collection to boost that and have it as Game Pass. So instead of it being oh my god, I just fucking found out what they did. Damn it. Instead of it being PlayStation Plus, it would be PlayStation Plus collection. That is their Game Pass. That's the shit right there. No, I'm just saying, think about it. If they start to add games to the PlayStation Plus collection, and that's a perk of owning a PS5, and you have games in that service that don't leave out, and you always have access to it no matter what month, that is the equivalent of Game Pass.
Right.
As of right now, they have never added a game to it. But it's not to say that they won't do something like that and boost the price of that service and have it as a spinoff. So yeah, we have it for free because we're the early adopters of the PS5. But what if they branch it off and have it as something like PlayStation, like I said, PlayStation Plus Collection, which is their Game Pass? You know, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It really is interesting.
Mostly, I was leaning more to PlayStation Now because PlayStation Plus Collection, it almost feels like a one-time thing they're doing. Like, here's a bunch of games that we've kind of optimized for our console. Just here, have them. They're like $20 already, so we might as well just take them.
The reason why I'm not saying PlayStation Now is
people
they
buy the
never
games
did day
anyway.
and date with PlayStation Now. They've done day and date with PlayStation Plus, but they've never done that with PlayStation Now. So they probably
Look what you just
use
said.
PlayStation Now.
You never know.
Plus is they
sounds
shit.
fresher.
To be honest with you, it sounds like Sony has 2 game services: the Plus collection.
It does.
Which is for
Cyberpunk
Plus
asked a
and
good
PS Now.
question. Cyberpunk said, "Can somebody explain the repeat titles in Game Pass? Why is there multiple versions of the same game? Seems like padding. It is padding."
Oh yeah, that's what Slick was saying.
Because
Like,
somebody told me that they went from 100 to 300, but I know it's still 100 because guess what? That's what they're allowed to advertise. They can't advertise they have 300 games because if they advertise 300 games, people will dig into, is there actually 300 games? They will have professional counters go to that service and count the games. And once they start seeing repeats, they will publicly admit that they padded the numbers. But we as gamers already know they padded the numbers. I'm telling you, if they really had 300 games in their service, don't you think they would be hyping that shit up to the high heavens? But Microsoft has not made any new advertisements of having 200 or 300 games. So yes, until they
advertise the fuck out of it, they got Bethesda. That's all they've been advertising.
And even then, what did they say? The advertisement still says hundreds of games. They don't say a specific number. Over 200 games. Over 300 games. That's the way you're supposed to say it. PlayStation did it. Over 800 games on PlayStation Now. So why don't they give a specific number or close to a specific number of what they have in Game Pass? Because they know they padding the numbers.
mm-hmm.
Once you actually look at how many games they actually have, you go see what Cyber Dragons saw, and then you see repeats of the same game.
But that's the Series X version. It's a totally different version.
It is.
Does it play the same?
I understand that you're trolling, and I understand you're being sarcastic, but let's be real serious real quick. That's fucked up. Let's say they add a digital deluxe version of UFC, but they add the standard version, and then they add the platinum edition of UFC, right? That's still the same fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
But they got added there so they can make it look like they have more games. Not look like, sorry. So they can actually announce that, hey, we have hundreds of games.
Yeah, Microsoft's
sad.
Shady like that.
It's really, really sad.
I thought you just said sad like a...
Hey, where's that dude that was trolling before I went to get my breakfast? Is he still in here?
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell y'all this, right?
Piece of shit.
Everything in gaming seems, in politics, music, everything seems to be about reputation, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when they keep saying Game Pass, the more we argue about it, the more it stays in the news. What we should do is really people should just stop acknowledging Game Pass. Just like Craig said a while ago, stop acknowledging these dudes, and then they will have nobody to entertain them. And then watch, you're gonna see this shit gonna fall off. That attention
Exactly.
that we give to them,
But
bro, that's the
it's not
problem.
us. Let me put it this way. Let's be honest, right?
It
We
is.
got
It's
50.
PlayStation
Hold
fanboys
on,
too.
hold on.
Like they got
I need you to understand. Is my voice louder than IGN?
no.
Is this channel, is this podcast, this episode, is this louder than IGN?
Mm-mm.
No, it's fucking not. So if you have the media, the gaming media, hyping up Game Pass and yellow chairs, isn't that a little bit louder than what we can do? So yeah, we're talking about it, but it has no real impact on who's actually hyping it up as a good thing. That's the
No, I mean
media.
like
It
the
goes
back and
way
I mean
beyond
like the
what we
back and
got, bro. I don't got no
no the
check
back and
mark
the forth.
beside my fucking name on Twitter. And I don't even talk about Game Pass on Twitter, but IGN up there hyping that shit up as a good thing. There's other websites up here making articles about why Xbox Series X is a better value than a PS5. Just this weekend, there was an article about that. And guess what they had? Advertisement for 3 tiers of Game Pass at the end of it. So, nah, man. I'm not even going to accept anybody to tell me that we're the reasons why the Game Pass is still being pandered around the news cycle. Because we're not. There are so many fucking streams where I have not even talked about Game Pass. And then there's websites and articles still talking about that shit going there. Xbox
Can I
does
answer your
these
title?
deals so Game Pass can stay in the news. A new game, Outriders, comes out. Oh, let's put it on Game Pass. We stay in the news cycle. Game Pass stays in the news cycle. People keep talking about Game Pass.
Yep.
Game Pass could be in a news cycle whether PlayStation fans
Jay,
ignore it or not.
How else are they gonna stay relevant?
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. We're not the ones making
they
them
ain't got
relevant.
the games.
I understand that.
They ain't got the games right now, so it's like, hey, you know what?
I know,
We
but
gotta
that's
talk
what
about
I'm
Game
telling
Pass 'cause
Spartan.
that's all we got.
What I'm telling Spartan is PlayStation gamers are not the ones making Game Pass relevant. Big Daddy Microsoft's money is making Game Pass relevant. When they keep paying third-party developers to put mid-tier new games on their fucking service, they're going to keep them in the news cycle. Whether we like it or not, whether we respond to it or not, they're going to stay in the news cycle. And Xbox fans, as we've seen, or even on YouTube, have a bigger reach. They're losing, so people need to watch them to get good news because they've got so much bad news out there. So they have a bigger reach when they tell lies and talk about Game Pass all the fucking time. I say right now, from now on, if you're a part of the PlayStation Legion, if you're part of the PlayStation community or PlayStation gamers, stop talking about Game Pass and see if they're still in the fucking news cycle. I guarantee you it will. But don't talk about Game Pass no more. Let's move the subject to,
Can I answer your title though?
yeah.
Okay. Fear, doubt, reception, just all the reasons why. Why don't the PC masters Xbox buy games they want like Ponies? First off, most fucking Ponies nowadays don't even buy the fucking games they want or buy games in general. They act like the Xbox dudes and argue and bitch back and forth. The PlayStation dudes like you, sick. I won't call y'all Ponies. Yeah, y'all predominantly PlayStation, but Ponies wise, like the fanboys, like the Master Race, the Xbox,
I
them
wanted
motherfuckers
to
don't buy
add
games either.
PlayStation gamers, but I thought it would be too long of a title. But I'm about to change that shit. But
No,
yeah,
you're correct. But Ponies, why? Because I like them. People know what they're going to get with PlayStation because there's a track record, right? From first party wise, right?
mm.
With Xbox and PC don't have any first parties, so that answers that question. Xbox, they've been so accustomed to most of their exclusives being from third party and like third party content because of where they came from. The 360, Sony has all of that, so they have nothing now to really like first party wise to trust in Halo because they was going after Call of Duty over Halo at one point, even though they bought it, yes, but Call of Duty was their thing. Now that they lost all of that, like Call of Duty, Destiny, all the shooters is like PlayStation centric. What first party they're gonna have? Gears? Okay, we know what Gears is. Forza is the same. Yeah, you don't have Fable right now. They don't have like that magic with the 360 from
Oh, and
third
those
party.
sound like they're still a long ways off from being
Right. So
shown.
now, why they don't buy it? Because they don't want to buy it, and then like they say to us, once we buy a game, what do we play after that? They don't want to be that. That's what they don't want, and it's been that way for a while. That they don't want to buy the games and be like, okay, if they get a single player game, they're gonna be like, okay, what are you playing now? Because then they're gonna go back and play old games. But that's what they say to us. So they don't want to get caught. So they instead of buying games day one, they rather wait so that any bad thing they say about it, they can't say, "Oh, you bought a trash game." They don't want the reception to be about them to be bad. Think about it. It happened. Sea of Thieves was the only game they really stuck with that I'm proud of them on. That's the only game. PUBG as well. But they won't buy games like Gears, Halo, Forza unless it has positive results. There's positive news about it. You see, Destruction All Stars was negative. You see PlayStation news by it? No. No Man's Sky. Niggas bought day one and had bad news. What did everybody
Hmm.
do? Get a refund. Every game that's negative, people don't want their name attached to it, which I don't know why. Because like that's falls on the
Yo,
devs, not you.
Yeah.
I bought No Man's
I'm gonna get
Sky
to that
day
in
one.
a
I
Twice.
want a
second.
damn
I'm
refund.
gonna get that in a second. I just want to acknowledge the Perfidemus guy or whatever the Perfidius guy, Kyle. So Kyle and Perfidemus, if I'm pronouncing that right, I don't give a fuck. Are you like what side are you on? Like, are you PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, PC? What side do you sit on? Because you've been speaking in the interest of PlayStation gamers for quite a while
Got
during
a
the podcast. And
you
Kyle,
got a good point. Right.
hold on, let me see. Kyle, you were like, let me see what you said.
I counted
You said
293
I
Game Pass
counted
games. No.
293 games on Game Pass. What I want to say, right? You counted that, so obviously you have access to a Game Pass library. So you have either Game Pass on Xbox or you have Game Pass on PC. Does anybody know why Microsoft will not advertise any number that they have on Game Pass?
You answered already.
Cause,
Inflation,
cause
It's
bro.
it's
not the padding.
people.
It's not the
I,
padding.
I I
What
got.
why what's the other reason? Spartan, you should know this answer.
I'm not gonna
Well,
answer. I'm gonna let
I
Because
already
somebody
if
else
have an
they
answer.
do,
answer,
if
but
they talk about that number, PlayStation will retaliate by talking about the number on fucking PlayStation Now, which we know they have stated. But what happens, Spartan? Who's the one not hyping up the number? It's not the PlayStation gamers. It's not our
It's the
responsibility.
Xbox.
We're gamers, we're fans, right? It's the media. Isn't it their
Hmm.
responsibility to report on something that's factual? Report on the news? What big news is it that PlayStation Now has over 800 games? I haven't saw a single news article about that number. And I've made probably
Yo,
3 different podcasts
Jay,
talking about PlayStation Now's number.
resurgence last comment because he actually has a very good point.
You
It's so
talking about
funny how
the one
Microsoft,
right there or the one right here? Let me see.
the one the really at the bottom of that, it's funny how Microsoft's competitors, that one right there.
Okay, yeah. It's funny how Microsoft's competitors, Google Stadia, closing their first party studios before they release any. Amazon Luna canceling Crucible 6 months after release and now losing Lord of the Rings now. Laugh all out. Okay. It's
Oh yeah,
not.
I heard
It is
that.
fun. It
That
is funny, but that just shows that streaming subscriptions, which Adam said yesterday, is not viable. You don't make enough money to go forward with big projects like that. It's good for attraction, right, Spartan? It's good to announce that hey, we have Lord of the Rings in the works. Okay, we have first party studios that we're recreating, but you're not making enough money off of the subscriptions to go forward with these promises you made in order to attract people to subscribe.
hmm
Again,
um
Big
I
Daddy
was gonna
Microsoft
say,
has a lot of money to allow Xbox to fail time and time again, but eventually, they're going to come up against a number of failures that Microsoft's going to be like, hey, bro, we're pulling the plug.
all I can say is the reason why Microsoft probably doesn't advertise, they have like 200 plus games, is because people like hear. I've heard where it's like it's more people like hearing a flat number, like 300 plus games than 294 as an example, because then it's like,
mhm.
oh, that sounds low.
Yeah, like
I
resolution
don't know.
was. That's correct.
Yeah.
Because people here wearing them like 1560p, and they like what's that? They're at the 1440p, 1800, 2160,
So
like that.
basically,
Just like
they won't be able to advertise a number that they think is high of games for the next couple years because
yeah,
it's the same exact thing I was talking about this weekend. Remember they used to always announce every game that was going to be updated for backwards compatibility on Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So they
Funny how they stopped doing
they
that,
hit a
by the
ceiling,
way.
didn't they? Didn't they hit a ceiling? Like at a certain point, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna stop with the backwards compatibility program." There were a lot of Xbox
You know, they
fans
stopped
that
doing
were
it. They
always in
stopped
the
doing it for the.
hmm?
I was gonna say they stopped doing it for the OG Xbox games,
And
but they keep
360.
doing it for the 360.
Yeah, but they had a stopping point, and the Xbox fans were
hmm
upset because they were like, "Hey, you didn't add my favorite game," and then another Xbox was like, "Hey, well, I wanted this game and they didn't add this one."
Well, because it's a rights
Do the Xbox
thing.
fans expect every single game to go to Game Pass?
no,
They
because
Because
that's
it's
how they
probably
not
did
going
go
to
at
up.
one
happen,
point,
bro. Just
actually.
like they cut off backwards compatibility, Microsoft will eventually cut off the addition of games going to Game Pass because you still have to pay those content creators to put that. The studios or developers to put their game on Game Pass and keep it locked down. The problem with Game Pass compared to PlayStation is there are so many games that keep leaving Game Pass. So yeah, of
And
course
then
they
they
won't
add
be able to
later,
give us a
hi,
flat
it's GTA
number.
5.
Yeah, exactly. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a prime example, PlayStation gamer. It left Game Pass one time, it came back to. We don't know if it's going to stay this time, but it costs money to stay on that subscription service. Just like it costs
Jay,
Netflix a lot of money to put content on there. Because
Jay,
content
another
left
problem.
Netflix to go to other people's content subscription services because hey, we want to sell shit too, right? Everybody wants to make money. And if you want to make money, you can't keep lending your shit out to other people.
You know what the
Very
problem is,
true.
Jay? The words your entire library. That's the word. That's the problem as well. Because the more they say that your entire library, like across 4 generations of Xbox, people gonna start wanting their favorite games on there. Microsoft can't give it to them because of the licensing and shit. That's another
Well,
problem. Their
I also
marketing.
noticed like it's a lot of the same games too. They did for like 360 backwards compatibility. Like, really? This is just more of the same that you had last gen. Oh, look, here's Mass Effect 1. Okay, where's 2 and 3? Oh, but here's the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So why did they put Mass Effect in backwards compatibility?
So they have a lot of games.
Exactly.
Well, I
But
think it's because it was
like I
the
said,
first
they
game they
couldn't add
showed
every game
for it.
just like PlayStation not gonna go backwards in a longer line of history that they have, right? Like PlayStation has one, two, three, four, Vita, PSP. You know, that's a lot of fucking games. You know,
But
some studios
I want a Blasto emulation. God damn it!
yeah, and
I want.
I don't know how the rules of emulation are for PlayStation, right? Especially when it comes to digital instead of physical, right? Do you have to go dig up that studio, find out if they still exist? Do you have to go to the existing
I
studio
Yeah, you
to
gotta find who's holding the rights and then go
exactly?
talk to them.
It's a really fucked up thing, right? On PC you can get away with it because even though they call it emulation, in reality it's piracy because you don't have to go through any fucking
Arr.
court cases, right? You just do the emulation and any game you want. It's just up. It's you,
Right.
right? You
Jay,
don't have to go through. But
you
a company like PlayStation, if they want to go back in time to their older games, they have to get the rights for some of them games that obviously they didn't own.
hey Jay.
Well, like
Um,
the Godzilla games from the PS2 gen. Oh my god, I would love to see a remake of those,
they
but
could get that.
now, because Toho's fucking stingy with the license.
hmm
Yeah, we ain't seeing that anytime soon.
I
So what
want to
was
tell
you
you,
saying, Spartan?
Jay. I'm gonna give you a prime example of a specific franchise, and I believe you know this franchise very well. You see how you say trace down the studio and
Mm-hmm.
licensing, how it switches hands. What games am I talking about right now? It's a specific genre of games, right? And I'm gonna give you a hint. They used to have a game for PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo back in the days. You had one for PlayStation, One for Xbox, one from N64 and GameCube. Which game is it? Which franchise?
I don't fucking know. I don't.
Finish this. Finish this. W. W.
Oh, you talking about WWF?
Exactly. Those games are the prime example of that. Why do you think we haven't got all them games for PS2? SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, Shut Your Mouth, and all that. Why do you think they can't go back and get the licenses for those games?
You got
Because one,
you got a lot of
two,
dead
they shoot
wrestlers.
over-
You got a lot of
Right.
wrestlers Vince McMahon cut off that he don't like, and there you
Chris
go.
Benoit.
You gonna have to
Chris
pay
Benoit.
royalties to the family for using their likenesses. I mean,
Chris
again,
Benoit.
it's really fucked up when it comes to a console manufacturer getting old content compared to a random PC troll getting an emulation on a PC and playing all of your best favorite games. Like, it's different. They can't do it. And it's, I know people don't want to hear that, but they can't do it. Bringing back an old
They could do
game
it
might
for, like,
cost
the
them more money
license
than
they
keeping a
own, but
fucking,
that's as far
making
as
a
they
new
could
one.
go.
What did you say?
I was gonna say they could, you know, obviously they could. Yeah, give me a second. I'm playing Fortnite at the same time. My point I was trying to say is they can, you know, get those games on PS5 with, say, theoretical backwards compatibility if they own the license. But as far as, like, you know, third parties, yeah, that's out the window. You know how many fucking studios have been shut down?
Do you think that they would do that, bro? Vince McMahon is still alive, and he's still an evil motherfucker. So, do you think that Vince McMahon will
you're
allow
talking about
wrestling
wrestling
games to come
specifically.
back?
No, there's a lot of guys that
'Cause I
fucking
think
left that company
like-
with the most sour way.
Exactly. But listen, hear me out. Don't interrupt. Just hear me out. They're going forward with a new wrestling game, right? A new wrestling game. Everybody else has went through 2 generations of remastering games, meaning that the World Wrestling Entertainment Organization had the opportunity for 2 generations to go back in time and re-release these older wrestling games. All you had to do is port them to systems. You could have took some time out and remaster a few of them if you wanted to. The real reason is because Vince McMahon does have some people in these wrestling games that he put on the "we don't fuck with you, we don't talk to you" list, right? Chris Benoit is on that list.
Yo, they shutting down the stream. Watch. Yo, I swear to God, the niggas gonna shut down the stream for that.
Exactly.
Well,
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm being
well, I
honest.
was gonna say there's there's another case where
No,
you
all
could
I
never
want to
get this
say is there are
wrestler's
people
license.
that they don't fuck with that are in those wrestling games that even if you don't fuck with them and you say, hey, I still want to make the money off the wrestling game, produce the wrestling game, well, his son, his widow, he had a son. He did have a other son.
Yeah,
so the
he
other
was on,
son that was there, he could sue
Side of the Ring.
the World Wrestling Organization and make money off of every copy that's sold because you're using his father's likeness without their permission. You see how fucked up the court case would be just because PlayStation is listening to people that say, hey, bring back all our games. I want all the old games. Bring back all the games. And it's like, nah. Now, if you have backwards compatibility and the way you could play all your old games is backwards compatibility, right? Hey, you put a game in a disc, you can play it. That's cool. But they didn't do that because they did have a system they created that was digital. So it would be unfair to the digital users. They can't put a disc in their system if you bring back some of these old games. So, of course, you would want to bring these games back digital, too.
I think that's why Sony has the patents for these games. Or for the backwards compatibility. I think that's why. Because they know.
But how many can
could've.
come back digital? That's what I'm saying.
Actually, I think that's the reason why they never did PC, because with the discs, like Microsoft did, I believe they could have done that, right? But here's the thing: not everybody has the physical copies of them.
Exactly.
So I think instead they're
Do
just
you
gonna
know
make it
how
all
hard
digital.
it is to find those physical copies at a good fucking price? Real hard. Really hard.
I paid it.
You got to go to like
over
one of these
$20
not even a mom and pop shop. You got to go to like a fucking yard sale. One of them old school classic yard sales where the people that are having a yard sale have no idea the value of their products that they're selling off. That's the only way you would find some of these old ass games. And that would take you a long time to do. So you know, I'm not saying
I
backwards
literally
compatibility
got.
is bad,
I
but
was gonna.
you know,
I
it
was
is what
just
it
gonna
is.
say. I literally paid over $20 for SmackDown versus Raw, 2006, and I was like, wow. And the website said this game's in high demand because there's GM mode and Chris Benoit in it.
Exactly. There's some games that are so popular that even if you say, "Hey, I'm glad we have backwards compatibility," okay. Unless you're not one of those legendary PlayStation collectors that kept your collection of games with you for all these years, it's hard for you to go back and find your own game because Sony's not gonna have the freedom to produce these games, and if they do, that's money out of their pocket. So, do you think that Vince McMahon is gonna want to go through all of this and reproduce all these games? Like wrestling is when it comes
Well,
his
Vince
promotion is
doesn't
dying.
doesn't have nothing to do with it. It's another guy who's probably got something to do with it.
Who?
Who?
But I get what you're saying.
Who?
Oh,
Like if
sorry,
they
distractions.
re-release
I
all
fucking
the
like.
WWF wrestling games for modern day consoles, like you don't think that doesn't go through Vince McMahon as well?
That must go to Vince because that's his fucking company.
We're talking
Yeah.
from, let's say, from the N60 era, digitizing those games that are not playable on PlayStation because they're N60 N64 games, all the way to the PS2 era, which was when the last best wrestling games were out. So we got Day of Reckoning on GameCube, we got SmackDown games on PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and then you have those Forgotten Child Raw games on Xbox. So that's still a
Oh
lot of
god.
wrestling games, right? There were 2 Raws over there. There probably were like 4 SmackDowns on. No, there was. I think
There
they.
was WrestleMania 21
Oh
also on
shit!
it.
Yeah, WrestleMania 18, right? Remember that one? WrestleMania 18
18
had
and
its own
19.
video
Yeah.
game. Um,
Yeah. Fun fact for you
yeah,
guys. I actually was at WrestleMania 19 when I was in Seattle.
okay. WrestleMania 2000, the WCW games, which there was a
That's
good.
never coming back.
ECW.
Yeah, so it's like just this situation, just for wrestling, you got to really think about the legal aspect of bringing games back and having people's
Hmm.
likenesses in them and having their families still around and wanting. And you know how people are so quick to sue people, like that would just be a legal nightmare just for wrestling to come
Oh, I
back.
could I could
For
guarantee one super legal nightmare. Owen Hart.
yeah,
His
exactly. Yeah,
wife will
I understand. I understand.
will
Yeah.
never sign off on
So
it.
it's like, how
Yeah, they
much
will.
money is it gonna cost Vince McMahon to bring back backwards older games for people that love backwards compatibility but are not willing to pay full price for those games? But even though you're gonna have to pay full price because that money that you're paying for older games is gonna go to the families of the wrestlers that didn't want their fathers or mothers likenesses to be in the wrestling
Hmm.
game,
About
and
half a billion.
that's a lot of money, right? And that goes for almost a lot of games.
And you know
Well, you
why?
also have to consider like some of
Music.
the
Also,
dialogue
you
and
got to
stuff
talk
too.
about music and advertisements. Like Pepsi has, and Coca Cola. And like I said, music. There's a ton of music in these games. There's tons of fucking music. These musicians are going to
Hi,
want
Limp
to get their
Bizkit.
fucking paycheck too.
Them
Like,
songs
it's
solo.
crazy. It's crazy. Can't bring that shit back.
PlayStation game. What you were saying?
I was saying Limp Bizkit would want his money. Yo, man, I gotta get my
Exactly,
money
yeah.
for
There's a
that
lot
the
of bands
song
that would want their
rolling.
money. And even if you
But they
don't
got
talk about the songs, there were a lot of wrestlers' theme songs that are in these older wrestling games. And if these artists are still around, they're going to want their money too.
Hmm.
That's why they have not made remasters to old wrestling games. I mean, this is just wrestling we're talking about. We're not talking about like other older games. Some of those older games could come back. Some of them can't come back. Some did have promotions in the game that if you bring it back, like you have to pay this promotion for, you know, I know they did a Subway cross promotion with PlayStation characters, like Uncharted 3, and then Subway had its own restaurant in Infamous 2. So You do a remaster and take that shit out, or you do a remaster and keep that shit in, and then still, pay Subway some money because you're using their likeness, you're using their stuff. I mean, it sucks for console gamers because it costs a lot of money to bring back old games over here. On PC, you can get away with that shit.
Hmm.
Just gotta have a nice ass PC to
Well,
run.
shit, man, they're
run some
gonna
of
have
these
trouble
emulators.
just on their own with the next wrestling game because Vince McMahon just laid off a bunch of fucking wrestlers.
Fuck him.
Oh yeah,
Samoa Joe no longer in the company. Guarantee you he'll be in the next wrestling game because technically they did all the character models now.
Well, if
So
he's in there, he still
he's gonna
gets a
get
pay cut though. Even though they fired him, even though they let him go, he still gets a pay cut. So they don't think that
yeah.
they're putting his likeness in the game without him getting a pay cut, because that would be illegal and he would take them to
yeah.
court. So
Although I
he's
have
getting paid for
heard
that.
stories where I have heard that technically they're not the wrestlers aren't contracted through WWE to do the games. They contract with the company 2K themselves.
Yeah.
That's why they got Ultimate Warrior and 2K
Well,
14.
if they already scanned him into the game, then yeah, this would be like the last time he'd be in
Yeah,
the
I was
game.
just saying that's just they don't get it. It's not like, hey, you work with WWE, you get that you're gonna be in a video game because some of those guys they don't want to be in it. Wasn't it like 2K18? They took a bunch of wrestlers out because their contracts expired. They didn't have Tommaso Ciampa, Nikki Cross. I don't think they had some of the. Again, what was that faction in NXT? But yeah, wrestling games are fucking big money business, but big risk too.
I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Remember, CM Punk being the 2K15, they legally have to pay for that shit.
They had to pay him.
Like for that story.
And the response was when he left, it wasn't to take him out of the game because he's contracted, he has to be in the game. They just removed all the signs that the fans are holding up. I'm like, why are they doing that? Then I heard it's like, oh, because those are technically his trademarks. Those are his, because it says CM Punk. Some said best in the world. Those are his trademarks. They wanted to take those out so, they're not advertising for him essentially.
It is the best in the world. The Chicago thing, the Pepsi looking logo, his fist being crossed.
Oh, he got. I remember hearing about that. He got a lot of trouble about that.
No, that's Chicago's thing. So technically, he wasn't because Chicago.
No, I was saying when he came into WWE, he had a tattoo that looks like the Pepsi logo. And apparently, the Pepsi company caught wind of it and were like, "Hey, either he has to remove the tattoo, or you guys need to pay us."
Yeah, how does that go? Like when Roman Reigns calls his move the Superman Punch, do they have to pay DC Comics because he keeps calling it the Superman Punch?
No, because technically what he's doing is not Superman. Superman would not do that. So if it was just like a move, like a Marvel and shit, then DC will feel like, okay, they can be assholes and be like, okay, this is our character, you're making win of it. But that's comics, that's a character. Like if he was like dressing like Spider-Man and shit, like if somebody dressed like Spider-Man right now in WWE, just like for have a match, first off they gotta let the company know, Sony and Marvel, Disney, all that, right? But it's just Superman Punch or Spear. All of that is not really like a Hulk move. They say Hulk Hogan, all that. They didn't have to pay for that because that's just a name.
Oh yeah, you heard about that whole story? How Hogan got in a lot of legal trouble at one point because they kept calling him Hulk Hogan. So it's like, oh well, hi, there's this giant green guy. He works for Marvel. He needs money now.
He works for Marvel. He doing?
But yeah, but let's get on off of this. Like backwards compatibility is very nice. I don't mind it, but it's hard. And if you're a true believer of backwards compatibility and you're on the PlayStation side, you have to understand how difficult it is to bring back some of our favorite games. We got lots of artists because of COVID. We got lots of game developers and studios because of COVID that are out of work. They will be real quick to sue somebody so they can get some pay. So, think of the cost. It's basically like asking for a game to be remade, because that's essentially what you're doing. And then if they have to put effort into bringing these games out, like making them look better or modernize them, that's even more money on top of the legal fees of paying people off or paying off the musicians or any of that shit. Like it gets really really crazy and it gets really really expensive. So the best way for backwards compatibility would probably be for physical. So if you have a physical system, you could enable that shit if you want to. If not, that's cool. I think that when it comes to PlayStation exclusive games that they have the rights to and they can bring back with little to no legal problems, I think they definitely should. I think on PlayStation Now or PlayStation Plus, however they want to do it, older games that are on PSP, PS Vita, PS3, PS2, PS1, bring them back. Now, because you bring some of these old games back, fans across the world will say, hey, bring this back. Hey, bring this back. People need to understand, educate themselves. Sony doesn't have rights to make wrestling games. They never did. They never will. So that's an issue you would have to bring up with wrestling. And obviously they know how expensive it is and how Vince McMahon has a lot, like I said, a lot of dead wrestlers, a lot of wrestlers that he fucking broke off, like Chris Jericho that went to AEW. You don't fuck with him. That's why Chris Jericho hasn't been in any wrestling games recently when he went
Even
to
though he
AEW.
was just on the Broken Skulls podcast with Stone Cold.
Yes, even though he was just on the
on the WWE network.
On the WWE network because Vince McMahon allowed it. Because Stone Cold asked him and Vince McMahon allowed it. So, long story short, it would have been a fucking nightmare if he said no either. So I'm just letting you know, PlayStation Gamer. Vince McMahon had to do it. Because if listen, hear me out, Spartan. If Vince McMahon told Stone Cold Steve Austin no, Stone Cold Steve Austin would have went to the internet to tell the fans that he already said that he was going to ask Chris Jericho to say he would agree to it. He would have to tell the fans then that Vince McMahon said he's not allowing it, so I can't do it. And then the fans would get even more mad than they already are at World Wrestling Entertainment and backlash by not watching their shit. Look, AEW shitting on WWE right now, specifically because of the fans. The fans are not happy and have not been happy with WWE for a very, very long time. I was looking for anything besides WWE. And when AEW came along, I watched the first season and I loved it. It was so awesome. Way better than WWE. But yeah, they don't want to, Vince McMahon doesn't want to drive anybody away than they already are, but then in the same breath, you kind of did because you fired all those people just now, so I don't know what's going on over there.
Did you hear CM Punk's response to that?
What happened?
Did you hear CM Punk's response to that?
Something about Vince McMahon not threatening. He's fucking threatening. AEW's killing it.
I agree. I don't think he's afraid of AEW because he literally allowed for Sami Zayn to say AEW live on his show on Raw, and then he also
he actually got in trouble for that because that segment actually was unscripted, and according to what I heard, Sami Zayn got in a lot of trouble backstage, not just from Vince, from other wrestlers who were like, "Dude, how could you fucking bring them up? They're literally our competition."
I'm gonna tell you right now, the other guys are not afraid to say anything related to WWE.
Oh yeah, people know there's options outside of WWE, so they're not afraid as they once was.
I can't wait for Samoa Joe to end up at AEW. I can't wait. Look what happened with Christian, bro. They allowed his contract to expire. He went straight to AEW. It's just like when the contract expired for Hitman, Bret the Hitman Hart. Yes, I'm challenging my boy Yella to come in here because I know your ass is listening. But when Bret the Hitman Hart's contract expired and he was going to leave with the championship, they didn't want him to leave with the championship. That's why they were screwing him over so Shawn Michaels would have the championship and what's the name would leave, without the championship. He knew he was going to WCW and he went to WCW anyway. who's a bitter man about it, but he went to WCW, and a lot of other wrestlers left WWF at that time, the early WWF, and went to WCW, and it was a
Kevin
big
Nash,
thorn.
Scott Hall.
Exactly. Kevin Hulk Hogan, everybody. Yeah, I already know. You don't got to tell me. Don't tell me. I already know. I know the history. But long story short, so we can move on to another topic, it was a big thorn in Vince McMahon's side for multiple years. The Monday Night Wars, where WCW and WWF were going head to head. And that's all Vince McMahon's fault. Vince McMahon can't be mad at anybody else. You let your wrestlers walk away. You did not fucking renew their contracts. What do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to sit in a fucking ditch and wait for you to fucking call so they can make some money again? No, they got to feed their family. They're going to go where the money is. And I respect any wrestler that does that shit. Billy Gunn, the same way. Billy Gunn used to be a coach for WWE. I don't know what happened. Maybe they didn't renew his contract. Maybe they fired him. I don't know. But Billy Gunn ended up on AEW with two of his sons, which would have been great if he stayed in WWE, because then his sons probably could have been a part of the wrestling dynasty of Billy Gunn's being with WWE. But that didn't happen.
You want to know what happened?
I want to know what happened with all the people. So if you got to tell me what happened, tell me why Vince McMahon lets good wrestlers go.
Because there's this thing, right? When they have too much of them, they don't know they don't have enough titles to push all of them. So what he would do is he would pick a favorite that he think can carry him, right?
That's fucked up.
And then he go, because once the crowd see you and you get over, it becomes a threat, because remember, their voice are now, they matters more because of social media. So basically, he lets them all go, so he won't have to deal with the fans, but he still have to anyway.
You still got to deal with the fans, because the fans are saying bad shit about your company, and it's gonna make you lose money, especially when you don't have live events.
Right.
So Vince McMahon's a dumbass, because in this day and age, social media is key to your survival. You look really, really bad, but you look bad before COVID. I know we're getting way off a topic, guys, and we moved from wrestling video games to wrestling shit. But all I'm saying is it's very hard to bring shit back, right? You can't bring back your fucking dog called Sparky, right? Sparky is dead. You can't bring back Sparky. Sometimes old things can't come back, including old games. And if you do, it takes forever to bring them back, and they might not look as glamorous as you remember. I guarantee you the internet would be very critical of older wrestling games if they didn't come back in a remastered or remake format. They want them to look just as good as they remember when they were younger. And most of these games don't. So that's additional money. All I'm saying, backwards compatibility is amazing if you can work that in a physical aspect. But because physical media has changed over the years, it is a little bit difficult. You can't expect Nintendo to have backwards compatibility for the Switch with N64 games, GameCube games, or even Wii games, because the physical media for the Switch would not fit any of those. So of course they don't have backwards compatibility. But I don't see anybody bitching at them, right? Nintendo, again, gets a free pass. They don't have backwards compatibility, but they get a free pass. Sony doesn't have backwards compatibility, but, you know, they expect Sony to put the cell processor in there at no additional cost to you as a consumer, which would cost you a lot of money. And, you know, bring back all these older games that you weren't supporting anyway. And on top of bringing back all these older games or having them playable, you probably would also want the servers up, right? Which would cost them even more money too. So it's like, I don't care, Sony. Keep wasting money. We want you to keep wasting money on the few people that actually care about playing old-ass games. You know, just keep wasting your money. It's only a few of us. Keep wasting your money. Like, man, nah, man. Let them do new IPs. Let them continue the series. Spider-Man 2 and fucking God of War Ragnarok and New Horizons. Let them do new shit, man. Like, if they could find a solution for backwards compatibility, it will come. It's just not going to be every game you want. Look, me personally, fuck WWF. It gave me great memories. especially the wrestling games. But what about Def Jam Vendetta? Again, can't bring that shit back. What about all the old EA boxing games? Can't bring that back because you got boxers that are dead. Same shit with the family. Family's gonna find out a wrestling boxing game is made with their fucking husband, and they're gonna get fucking mad, and they're gonna sue EA and the boxing commission, and so they can get a payday just because PlayStation gamers that are not really PlayStation gamers want to play old games. It's something that's always gonna happen no matter what the game is. Sometimes the games we really want the most is what's going on. Nick, you said breaking news. What's going on, man?
What, they just now announced the state of play?
Fake outrage was for nothing. What's going on? Umar, PlayStation Store update. Players will now be able to continue to purchase. Okay, let me go see what's going on here. No, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm about to go find out.
She got a fat ass.
PlayStation Store updates. Players will now be... Okay. There you go. Fuck. So... God damn it! Oh my God!
What?
Bro, how
What?
many times has this happened? Is it...
What?
Do I have powers? Am I going fucking crazy? Okay, Spartan, we're talking about backwards compatibility.
Right.
On the PlayStation Legion of Gamers stream. And PlayStation 3 minutes ago announced PlayStation Store update. Players will continue to purchase games on PS3 and PS Vita. How weird is that? Please tell me. Please tell me that's not weird.
So they're not shutting down the store?
They're not. As of 3 minutes ago, no.
Oh, what about all that drama?
Okay,
the drama
bro.
Of, hey, this is bad.
Something. Okay, so this is what I want to let people know. Sometimes, actually, fuck it. A lot of times, outrage, port begging, talking changes things. So again, if you believe enough in anything, don't stop talking. I don't care about the PlayStation Vita store or the PS3 store. Not because I don't like those systems. It's just they're not connected with the PS5. So if those stores was in some way connected to the PS5 and I can buy those games and play in backwards compatibility on my PS5, I'll be all for it. But I need a PS Vita and I need a PS3. And they're hard to come by for the price that I'm willing to pay. You see what I'm saying? But enough of you guys were talking and bitching and crying. Even though it was PC fans that didn't give two fucks about PlayStation, they just wanted to make PlayStation look bad. So, guess what? PlayStation did something in the interest of the people that probably won't care. So, yes, they're going to have to keep servers open. That's going to spend even more money. And guess what's going to happen now? Guess what's going to happen now? That means that the PlayStation Plus subscription could go up in price to cover the servers of older game stores. Because it takes servers to run that shit. Do you see what wasn't I just talking about? It seems like people just want Sony to waste money and waste money and waste money. So, let me read off everything right now. Upon further reflection, however, it's clear that we made the wrong decision here. You didn't. If something's old, you take it offline. Nintendo did it multiple times. Again, they can do no wrong. So today, I'm happy to say that we will be keeping the PlayStation Store operational for PS3 and PS Vita devices. PSP commerce functionality will retire July 2nd, 2021 as planned. When we initially came to the decision to end the purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including the commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus on our focus our resources on newer devices. Didn't I just say that shit? Y'all want them to stop making new games to keep up with old games that you ain't even gonna play that much? But let me continue. I'm triggered right now because what I just said is what they saying. Y'all gonna stop the progress of new consoles because just a few people are bitching about old systems. Just a few. And what I mean by just a few, it's a few people that actually have those systems that's bitching. Because there's a lot of fake outrage of people that don't have those systems that were bitching. Let me read that over again so y'all can understand. When we initially came to the decision to end the purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on, right? We see now that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on PS3 and PS Vita for the foreseeable future. So I'm glad we were able to find a solution to continue operations. I'm glad that we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy while we continue to create cutting edge new game worlds for PS4, PS5, and the next generation of VR. Thank you for sharing your feedback with us. We're always listening and appreciate the support from our PlayStation community. And this is one thing I've been telling the PlayStation community for a long time. They are always listening. Now listen to this. Just because they're always listening doesn't mean we're the ones always talking. So as you saw from the debate this weekend, shit, what is going on?
Oh my nigga, like, are you for real?
Yeah, just link in a
No, I'm real for real.
stream.
Like, you gotta be.
Yeah, no, they're actually not shutting down the. Yeah, I mean,
No, I'm not serious. Like, I'm not saying like, are you for real like this? Like y'all niggas really cried about PS3 and Vita, but the console was dead.
I understand why. Because there are people out there who do play the console, only. Hey man, gotta make people happy, right? Well, hey, we decided to back our decision because we want you guys to feel special.
No, they don't.
We're
They tried.
totally, we totally weren't gonna shut down the server to begin with.
They wasn't. The PS3, you know they wasn't. Just think about it. Niggas still play that system, and they know it. That's why PS3 got the biggest uproar out of all of them. The Vita is already dead, so the only successful out of those two is PSP and PS3, and they sold around this almost the same. But the PS3 is fucking legendary in its way. Like, it was some games on there people want right now. And the funny thing is,
well, the PlayStation Classics as well. That's really cool because you know how much those games cost physical copies? Like the PS1 and PS2 emulated games on the PS3. It cost a shit ton of money for actual physical copies. And they're $10-$20 on the store. Just saying, that's a choice.
Yo, sometimes they're gonna start adding PS3 games to Plus. Sometimes
That's possible.
no,
I want to put money on it.
they have this emulation shit. They're just waiting for a time to drop
Hello, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check Verizon. It was good. It was going good for the first 2 hours, but
man, I'm telling you, Sony got this
Verizon down detector.
I believe so. I really think Sony got this emulation shit because there ain't no way. But okay, think about it. Who's right now out of all of Sony's first party? Who's the shining star right now?
Fuck Verizon, man. What is going on with fucking Verizon, bro? I'm checking the down detector, and it was a big spike just now. Let me see. At the latest at like 1:00 p.m. the spike was high. It was 168 reports. Damn. I understand you guys like trolling. I'm more of a serious person when it comes to giving you guys quality. So no, I don't have Singular. No, I don't have any bad internet. I have my Ethernet cord hooked up to the live stream every time, to my laptop every time I live stream. So I make sure that we don't have problems like this, and we don't have problems like this. So I have a VPN, so I'm not dealing with any problems with anybody trying to hack into my IP or anything. It just seems like Verizon has some pretty big outages when it came to this weekend. So it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
But
mine works fine. But then I have Comcast and I pay for their unlimited data cap.
Yo, I'm actually who's the shining star of Sony's first party right now?
Insomniac? Naughty Dog?
It's good.
No. The one that's really doing a lot games-wise.
Like Insomniac?
Right? Which game do they keep teasing?
Resistance?
Really haven't teased Spider-Man 2 yet.
That on?
PS3.
What patent came out for Legacy system they said is impossible? Which system is the hardest to emulate?
PS3. PS3 is the hardest.
PS3.
Okay. I want you to think of all of that. I want you to think of the patents. I want you to think of the way they designed that fucking SPU of the audio PS5, and I want you to think, what system do you think Sony is really working on the most?
It would definitely have to be PS3 because the solutions for PSP and Vita should be very easy. So it would definitely be PS3.
Handheld's not powerful.
The PSP has sound. Basically, that's the PS3 itself. And the handheld. That's why they're going to shut that shit down, because they got the PS3 itself. The Vita could use remote play.
So, I have a question, Jay. So, did they say they're starting on the PSP store?
Yes.
Okay, because it said they're not shutting up the PS3. They didn't say about PSP, because that's one of them they just shut down at one point. Which makes sense. PSP's basically dead. Console of them all.
Which one? PSP?
Yeah, the PSP.
Oh,
people are always hacking that console and getting shit.
The moment you start seeing the fucking PS3 showing up more often, when they start talking about it more, I want y'all to come back to this channel. And remember, Spartan tells you the moment you see digital PS3 games on other systems that's not PS3, that's not PS4, but PS5, PC, and all of that, I don't want to hear shit. Because everybody say PS3 is hard to emulate. You really think that? You think really? Because like if Microsoft can emulate the PowerPC architecture of the X360 CPU, you think Sony can emulate the cell when it's the exact same shit they just customize it? All of those really re-engineer what they already did. You think Sony don't know how to deal with their own system? A hardware company? Like, these people, I don't know. When y'all saying the cell is hard to emulate, it's not. I'm telling y'all, it's really not.
Because they want. Okay. But yeah, watch when y'all start seeing PS3 come up more often. Y'all be like, oh, Spartan was right. Because, JTech, how many shit have I said on this channel specifically and everything happened? A lot, right?
Yeah, but
A lot of shit.
we were just look, bro. I'm gonna take some credit for myself. We were just talking about backwards
Oh, yeah, like,
compatibility. So
better.
we literally were talking about how difficult it is to bring back older games for a new store. But if you can get an emulation down packed and get around the fucking legal things, then yeah, keep the stores open until you have the solution, because once you announce the solution, it's a selling point for your new hardware. Especially if that solution is exclusive to your new hardware. Think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So if backwards compatibility solution is exclusive to your new hardware, that's really, really good. I don't know if the what's the name is working right now. I'm trying to see if any of this shit's working. It look like it's working now. I don't know. We gonna see.
Yo, if Sony announces that, that's gonna be a pain in the ass. That's gonna be a headache for Microsoft when they announce that. And I'm just gonna sit there and laugh because all of y'all said Microsoft is a genius, Sony is this. No, they just can't resell you all because remember, Sony has more games with more licenses than Xbox will ever have. So they can't just go back and get all the games because they have more. The whole PS1 has the most licenses out of every PlayStation. That's why they remake the games. Instead,
That's literally just like they're just whatever fucking game you
yeah.
go with it. Just turn on our system.
But you know how they could get around a lot of these games? Because a lot of the games was from Phoenix. What's the number one way they could get around that?
Just score.
Thank you. Capcom, here's the thing, Konami has the more license for a lot of their games. Like a lot of games has Konami behind it. Because remember, they just Konami, they have games and everything. They're purchased for a lot of shit in Japan. So, if they wanted to get it, fair. If they wanted to, but if they want to get around Konami, they would have to buy Konami and all the things.
Okay.
And then you got Bandai Namco, which are the most greediest of the three, even or not. They're not gonna give away their shit. They're gonna have to remake every game. Why do you think Microsoft gets all the fucking games for Dragon Ball Z shit? This is a fun time in gaming. This generation also exposes a lot of people. Oh, it's gonna be fun for me. But compatibility. Sony can't do like Microsoft. All right. So, remember the date, November 3rd, man? I'm just remember the date, November 3rd. Because that was the day, 2015, right? Fully unleashed their 360 BC program, right? For everybody, with how many games? 89. Now, November 3rd was the day in 2015. Sony unleashed PS2 classics for everybody, and they added the GTA trilogy for PS2. Hey, the same day, BC. Oh, wait. No, Microsoft has not said anything about OG Xbox games this whole gen since it started. And I think all y'all should question that. Question that.
Microsoft. I don't
No,
agree with that.
no. Excuse. Just because they question that. Why do you think they don't do that? Because they know damn well they're not getting a license for them. Just like Sony, like they said in 15, publishers felt they should charge, so they felt we should charge, which is correct. They're not in for free. You're trying to keep a game on your system. That's yours. So you have to buy to keep it. You gotta spend money to make money. Yeah. I want to see how so many things change. So many words, so many doubts. When seeing something I talk more often about the new anime. Well, I wasn't supposed to reveal that yet. Oops. So the new anime making is based on the type of processor.
Need access or something like that. Like new engine.
Okay. Let me see. Probably still botting. Oh, that's off.
Disconnect.